Today marks 5 years since we collectively woke up to the news that Massachusetts' most notorious mobster, James Whitey Bulger, had been found and captured alive out in California, setting the stage for his 2013 trial in which he was charged with racketeering, money laundering, extortion, weapons violations, and involvement in 19 murders. He was ultimately found guilty of the majority of those charges, sentenced to 2 life terms plus another 5 years, and ordered to pay nearly $20 million in restitution to his many victims. To that end, prosecutors seized about $1 million in assets from Bulger, which the U.S. Marshal's office is putting up for auction this weekend here in Boston. And joining me now for a preview is U.S. Marshal for the District of Massachusetts, John Gibbons. Marshal, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
On a personal level, what has it been like to go through the private belongings of someone who did the things that we know Whitey Bulger did?
Well, it's just on a personal level. It's just been exciting, along with my staff, that we could look at, working on this auction that's coming up this coming weekend, and the personal satisfaction that we may be able to sell his items and be able to maximize some proceeds so that we could pay the victims.
Is it weird at all or macabre to have an artifact like what's the ring that it's like a death's head ring or something? It has some sort of dark imagery attached.
Yes,
to it?
a skull.
A skull.
Ring. A skull ring.
Is it
a psycho killer skull ring?
Yeah. If you pick up an item like that, maybe this would fade away after you look at it 10 or 20 or 100 times. But when you're first going through his belongings, if you pick up something like that and it points to this really dark worldview that he had that exacted such a human toll, is it even troubling in passing, or are you able to just sort of float above it?
I'm kind of able to float above it, but it is, it just bring about questions,
So what items are going to generate the most demand this weekend?
Well, there is a 1986 Montreal Canadian Championship ring. It's a replica of the 1986 championship ring, but I think that's going to be a high price item.
Which means approximately what? What's a possible range?
Well, I think the pre-bidding starts off right now somewhere in the area of $11,000. So.
And remind me, why does he have that replica ring?
My understanding of the story is the ring was given to him by someone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else stand out? Is that psycho? What was the name of the ring again that you did?
Psycho killer.
The psycho
ring.
Killer ring. Yeah.
Yes.
How much would say that bring in potentially?
I'm not. I can't.
That's okay.
Remember the.
That's
the
totally
pre-bid on that ring, but I'm sure, and we're hoping that the public would be interested in purchasing that, and maybe just his notoriety would bring up the price.
I'm glad you brought up the notoriety question, because my sense is that that's been sort of a balancing act that you guys are trying to strike here. I saw Carmen Ortiz, the U.S. attorney, quoted saying that she did not want to do anything that was going to bolster Bulger's notoriety, but on the other hand, she wants to find a way to provide some restitution to the victims of the family members.
Right.
Was there any point at which your office thought about maybe not selling this stuff, packaging it up, storing it however you would need to store it, but not selling it and not in a way helping the legacy of Bulger live on through these artifacts?
No, we're operating off a court order. So a court order.
So the court mandated it.
Mandated, yes. So we are executing the court order, and we're putting on this auction, which the United States Marshal Service asset forfeiture is one of our missions.
That's what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so my asset forfeiture section in Boston, along with headquarters, are working together with the United States Attorney's Office. And we have been working also with the FBI in terms of deciding what should go up for auction.
What are some of the things that you chose to not include? Because there are some objects that are not going to be available for purchase, right?
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
Underwear. We want to not have anything distasteful.
Yeah.
Firearms, it is against the law, and I wanted to bring that up because there were questions about selling firearms, and it's against federal law for the United States Marshal Service. We're prohibited from selling these firearms, and I think it was 33 firearms that were seized out in his apartment in Santa Monica.
So no underwear, no firearms.
Right.
His
No
memoir,
toilet paper, no
okay,
tissues.
bodily. Okay.
Yes.
His memoir in progress that he was writing, providing his vision of his life and what it meant. That's also not for sale, right?
Right now, I don't think that's on the bid list.
Because I would think that could maybe bring in the highest total of all, potentially.
Possibility, but I think, I don't know if it's, right now it's not up for bid.
What's the reason for not making it up for bid?
That's a determination by the United States Attorney's Office in our asset forfeiture section. So
Okay.
I'm not making any of those decisions.
Got it. All right. Roughly how much money might you be able to raise with this?
I can't put a figure on it, but we're hoping to raise enough that we could pay the victims, give them a substantial amount of restitution.
All right, well, there's a lot of victims, so.
And when I say restitution, I mean it's you cannot put a price on that.
Right. All right, Marshal Gibbons, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.